How we doing on time? Is there room for one more song?
Okay, so today we're doing something a little different. We're taking a deep dive into this project called Proud to be a South Carolina Farmer.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not just about like farming techniques and stuff like that.
Right.
It's really about how they're trying to reach people, all kinds of people using, well, everything, like TV, radio, even podcasts. We've got all their plans right here. And honestly, it's pretty ambitious.
I'm looking at it here, and yeah, it's definitely a multi-platform approach, which is interesting.
Right.
They're not just like giving out information. It's more like they're building this whole content, I don't know, ecosystem.
Yeah, like a whole media universe for South Carolina agriculture.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so they're launching this 24/7 Roku channel, so anyone can watch it whenever they want, on their TV, computer, phone, whatever.
Wow. Okay, so that's pretty different.
Yeah, it's definitely not your typical farm report, right?
No, not at all. I mean, this is like, it's a way more interactive thing, you know? It's on demand. It seems like they're really trying to get a younger audience, people who are used to like streaming and stuff.
That's a good point. Do you think that's like the future of how people are going to learn about agriculture, do you think?
I mean, it could be reaching people where they are, like if they're on their phones all day, that's where you got to be.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And they're also doing this radio station.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. The Heartland IB Radio.
So it's going to be playing country music, farm news. They even said they'll have podcasts on there.
Whoa. Okay. So they're really going all out.
Yeah.
What do you think about them doing the radio station?
Well, I think it's bold. They're trying to like connect the radio and the TV stuff to make one big brand.
Yeah.
And, they want people to feel like they're part of something.
Like a community.
Yeah, exactly. Like a community. It's a big goal, but if it works, it could really change things.
Yeah, it could have a big impact for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into the actual shows and stuff they're making. So on the TV channel, they're going to have this show called South Carolina Farmer Spotlight, where they interview a different farmer every week.
Oh, cool.
And then they're doing Farm to Table Friday, where they have chefs and farmers talking about like recipes and local ingredients.
Okay, so they're really trying to like tap into that whole farm to table trend.
Yeah, it's really popular right now.
It is. People want to know where their food comes from.
Exactly. And I think this could be a good way to show them, like put a face to the food, tell the story behind it.
Totally. And I bet the farmers would love to share their stories.
I'm sure they would. And they're also doing a bunch of other shows like Livestock Roundup about, trends in livestock. And then, Ag Tech Tuesdays, which is all about new technology in farming.
I like that one. Ag Tech Tuesdays. It's catchy.
And then, of course, they're going to have a show about sustainable farming and conservation because that's a really important topic.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's thinking about sustainability these days.
So what do you think all these different shows tell us about, like their overall strategy with this project?
Well, it seems like they're really trying to make farming appeal to everyone, not just people who are already involved in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Ag Tech Tuesdays show that could bring in younger people who are into technology.
Yeah.
And by talking about sustainable farming, they're appealing to people who care about the environment.
It's like they're trying to make farming, I don't know, cool again.
Yeah. Like showing that it's not just the old way of doing things. There's innovation, there's technology, and it's about being responsible, taking care of the environment.
Yeah. Oh, and we can't forget about the podcasts they're making.
Oh, right. The podcast.
So they have one called The Farmer's Voice, and that's going to be about like big trends in farming, policies, grants, all that stuff. And then they have one for young farmers called Young Farmers of SC. I guess that one's more about like new ideas. And get this, they even have one for people who like craft beers and wines. It's called The Vineyard and Brewery Connection.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're really trying to get everyone.
Yeah, they're not just focusing on like traditional farming topics. They're branching out. Why do you think they're making all these podcasts, especially that last one?
Well, I think they're trying to connect with people who might not normally be interested in farming. If you like craft beer, you might not think about where the ingredients come from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good way to like introduce people to the world of agriculture in a way that they find interesting.
Exactly. It's a smart strategy.
Okay, so they're also doing all this interactive stuff too. Like they're going to have a call-in show so people can like ask questions and stuff.
Oh, cool.
They're doing a Farm of the Month thing where they feature a different farm every month. And they're even doing a Guess That Farm Sound contest.
Wait, guess that farm sound. Like what kind of sounds?
I don't know, like maybe a tractor or a cow mooing.
That's funny. It sounds fun.
I think it's a good idea. Why do you think they're doing all this interactive stuff?
I think it's a great way to get people involved, make them feel like they're part of a community.
Yeah, it's not just about watching or listening. It's about participating.
Exactly. It helps build a connection.
And speaking of connection, they're doing a lot of cross-promotion too.
Cross-promotion, how so?
Well, like they're going to have a behind the broadcast thing where they show behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And they're going to do live broadcasts from farms and festivals.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're even going to give away tickets to farm events.
Wow, they're really going all out. It's smart, though.
It is. It is. What do you think about the cross-promotion stuff?
I think it's really effective. If people see something on TV and then hear about it on the radio and then see it on social media, it's more likely to stick in their minds.
Yeah, and it creates this, like, whole experience for them.
Exactly. It reinforces their message across all the different platforms.
It's like they're really trying to build a whole world around South Carolina agriculture.
Yeah, I like that.
And, it's not all just about information and technology and stuff. They're also trying to celebrate, like, the culture of farming.
Oh, how are they doing that?
So they're doing segments on, like, Future Farmers of America, and they're going to feature local farm festivals and even have live music events.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good way to show that farming is more than just a job. It's a whole way of life.
Right. And it has this rich history and tradition.
It does. And it brings people together. It creates community.
Totally. So what do you think? This Proud to be a South Carolina Farmer project, it seems like it's about a lot more than just giving people information about farming, right?
Definitely. It's about connecting people, bridging the gap between urban and rural communities. Mm-hmm. It's about educating consumers and helping them appreciate where their food comes from.
And it's about showing the human side of farming, the people who work hard to put food on our tables.
Exactly. It's really a bold and innovative approach.
It is. And it makes you wonder, what can we do, as individuals to support the people who grow our food?
That's a great question. It's definitely something to think about.
It is. It is. It's easy to take our food for granted, but there's a whole world behind it.
There is. And I think this project is doing a great job of showing that world to people. It's inspiring.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely something worth checking out.
For sure. I'm curious to see how it all comes together.
Me too. Well, thanks for diving into this with me. I always enjoy our conversations.
Anytime. Always happy to chat about this stuff. It's important.
It is. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you. Bye.
How we doing on time? Is there room for one more song?